Welcome back, class. Today, I'll show you exactly how to take a set of orthographic views and convert them into a 3D isometric drawing. We'll use a box method with coordinate transfer, a clear, step-by-step process that works for any object, simple or complex. By the end, you'll see how each 2D view contributes to building a complete 3D visualization. When we begin the process of converting orthographic views into an isometric drawing, the very first step is to carefully study the given views. Remember, orthographic drawings are like a map. They provide us with all the information we need to construct a three-dimensional object, but in a flat, two-dimensional form. The front view gives us the height and the width, and it often shows us the slopes or inclinations of the surfaces. The top view gives us the length, depth, and the width. These two views together contain enough information to let us imagine the full 3D shape. In many cases, a third view, like the side view, might also be included, but for our particular example, the front and top views are sufficient. We do not need the third view, because the dimensions are already fully defined. In our case, the box dimensions are: width equals 7 units, height equals 6 units, depth, or length, equals 6 units. By drawing this box in isometric view, we set the limits for the object. Every other line and feature of the model will fall inside this box, so once the box is correctly drawn, the rest of the drawing becomes much easier. A vertical line for height, a right-hand line at 30 degrees for length or depth, and a left-hand line at 30 degrees for width, since this side is front to as. Every measurement will be projected along one of these three directions. This gives us the illusion of 3D on paper. Let's carefully build the object inside the box, step by step. We always start by looking at the orthographic views, because they tell us exactly how high, wide, and deep each part is. Begin with the top and front view. In this view, we see a base rectangle measuring 2 units by 5 units. Next to it, on side, there is another rectangle measuring 1 unit in width by 6 units in height. These two shapes form the foundation of our model. Create the base first. Draw the 2 times 5 rectangle and the 1 times 6 rectangle side by side in the right side view before extrusion. Extrude the shapes according to the top view. The 2 times 5 rectangle is extruded to a depth of 4 units. The 1 times 6 rectangle is extruded all the way to the end, as shown in the top view. By comparing the front and top views together, we know exactly how far each portion should extend. This way, we gradually carve the object inside the box, starting from the lower block and then building the step at the back. To construct the slope, first pay attention to its endpoints. From the front view, the slope begins at a depth of 7 units measured from the right side view, which places it on the left edge of the front view. From there, the slope line drops down until it meets the upper left corner of the 4 times 2 rectangle that appears in the front view. The opposite boundary of this sloping surface is less direct. Its lower edge starts from the bottom corner of the same 4 times 2 rectangle and then rises upward, as we can clearly see in the front view. The extrusion length of this sloping plate is not determined in the front view. It must be taken from the top view. Once you read that depth from the top view, you can extend the slope backward. With these references, sketch. The sloping surface according to the given information, carefully linking the front and top views so that the 3D form is accurate. Next step, adding the square holes correctly. Adding the 1 square and 1 rectangle hole. 1 rectangle hole on the top surface of the base plate, and another square hole on the front face of the plate. Remember, in isometric drawing, every line from the orthographic views is directly transferred onto the isometric planes. This is why we carefully measure from the given orthographic views before we draw anything. The orthographic drawing tells us the hole on the top surface of the base plate is 3 unit by 2 unit rectangle from the top view, and it's 2 unit depth from front side view. To construct this hole in isometric view, 1. First, the hole is at the center of its square, so you must 1 unit to the right from the front side plane, and mark it slightly. And measure 1 unit to the left from right side plane. Always keep your construction lines light. Only darken the final visible edges of the hole after confirming its location. This completes the hole on the top surface. Drop vertical lines downward to represent the depth of the hole. The depth from the front view is given as 2 units. Let's work on the hole in the front face. The orthographic drawing shows that the hole is a square of size 2 units times 2 units. Similarly with the base plate, it is centered but shifted slightly. The hole can draw after measure 1 units to the left from right side plane, and 1 units down from top plane to position it correctly. To construct this hole, 1. Use the top view to locate the position accurately on the front plane. 2. At the same time, the top view also tells us the hole depth. Three. Draw the square as an isometric rhombus, since in isometric. Two unit by 2 unit square hole on the front side plane from the front view, and depth is 1 unit from top view. So mark this carefully. When drawing holes or recesses in isometric, it's important to combine information from both the front and top views. One view gives us the position, the other gives us the depth. The final detail is the triangle, whose adjacent side lies on the inclined plane. Its length is 3 units as shown in the front view, but it begins 1 unit down from the upper edge of the slope. To construct this, imagine the slope having its own local coordinate system, aligned with its edges. The thickness that extends into the depth is 1 unit, which can be confirmed from the top view. This method, measuring directly along the edges of the inclined plane, is the key to accurately placing features on sloped surfaces. Now we have the reference point for the triangle, where its hypotenuse is parallel to the inclined plane. The remaining sides to draw are the adjacent and opposite edges. To construct these, extend a vertical line along the z-axis and a horizontal line along the x-axis from the rectangle's corners. Erase all construction lines and thicken only the visible edges. Remember, never use dashed hidden lines in isometric drawings. Those are only for orthographic views. Your final sketch should be clear and easy to read at a glance. Now, double-check your drawing. Do all the edges from the top view appear correctly on the top faces? Do the heights align with the front view? Does the slope connect precisely between the given points? If all three match, your isometric drawing is accurate. That's the workflow. Set up the axes, draw the bounding box, block out the main shape, add the slope, then cut the details. Always move from general to specific, from large forms to small features. With consistent practice, you'll be able to transform any orthographic view into a clean and accurate isometric sketch. If you found this guide helpful and want to solve more problems related to technical and engineering drawing, be sure to subscribe to my channel. Draft and Dialogue. We break down complex concepts into easy-to-follow steps to help you draft with confidence.